It's Bush, Live, Filter, Welshly Arms, The Kaleidoscope Kid, and Winona Fighter. Some of the bands you know, some of them you don't. But a good time is going to be had by all. buzzardfest.com for the info. Caller 10, these tickets are yours. We will see you there. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Alan Cox.
The sort of man we used to describe at school as a complete prick.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7
WMMS.
Use once and destroy. Single servings of pain. A dose of emotion. Sickness that just can't shake. And my future.
Queens of the Stone Age dropped a new song a couple hours ago.
Oh, nice.
Called Emotion Sickness. And they're going to drop their first album in about 6 years. It's been some time for Josh and the boys. In Times Roman is the name of the new album. If you're going to Sonic Temple, you're going to see them. They're doing that second night of Sonic Temple. It's up to 4 nights now. 25th through the 28th of this month. It's like 2 weekends away.
Yeah, it's a few weekends away.
Yep. Just got my passes.
Nice.
That's going to be a good weekend. Queens of the Stone Age is on that Friday night with Avenged Sevenfold and Chevelle and Blackstone Cherry and Born of Osiris. But there are killer bands all 4 nights. Kiss, Rob Zombie on Saturday are your headliners. And then Foo Fighters, Deftones are the headliners for that last night. But if you haven't seen Queens of the Stone Age in a while, or maybe you've never seen them, they're great live. They'll be one of the 2 headliners that second night, Friday, May 26th. Very first night, Tool and Godsmack are the opening night headliners. You can go to sonictemple.com, Sonic Temple 2023, something like that. Hey, Keith.
Yes. Hey, Alan.
What's up, man?
Hey, I had a friend of mine that had his foot amputated. He had cancer, like in his toes.
You know?
So they cut off like half his foot. And what I found very interesting is the bottom of his foot, that skin, they folded it over top so it would heal. And what he said is if he hit the top of his foot, he always felt like he was stepping on something.
Yeah, because it's the middle of his underside of his foot,
nerve.
right? Yeah. That's wild.
Yeah.
I didn't.
So
I don't think that I knew
yeah.
that. I don't think I knew that toe cancer was a thing, Keith.
Well, it's some kind of foot cancer. I don't know if it's actually his toes, but he had his ankle, but the whole front of his foot was missing.
Right.
And,
Yeah, I don't even think I knew
no.
that foot cancer. It wasn't skin cancer, right? It was foot cancer.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like bones or
Yeah.
what. I've never heard that either. That's the only person I ever heard of.
Right.
But another funny thing he said is first time he went swimming in a pool, he was swimming and then he would just go in circles because his foot was missing.
Yeah, he was like a boat with one oar.
Yeah, like, it was. Now I don't know if that part's true, but that's what he said. He was always kind of a jokester. But
Well, yeah, I guess
just
you
picture him
have to
swimming in a
be.
pool.
Yeah, you probably have to have a good sense of humor if they take off part of your foot. At least you
Right.
hope so.
All right,
right?
I just wanted to share that with you
Okay,
guys.
thank you, Keith. There's Keith in Akron. Alan, I was reading the story about that guy in St. Louis, and he and his lawyer met for breakfast to go over the details of the case. They went to IHOP. This person
I love it.
I see
Speaking
what
of-
you did.
Speaking of
and-
joke, we get Gene from Parma calling in from time to time with a nice joke. He's been very generous on Facebook. You can give stars, and it's a couple bucks, but
Wait, what?
he's been giving me stars on like reels that I've been posting of my
Gene from
jokes.
Parma.
Gene from Parma. So
Okay.
I just want to say thank you, Gene, for
What are
those
stars?
It's just a way to it's a thank you, but it gets me a couple bucks.
It's a tip.
Yeah, basically.
Wow. Okay,
So
good.
I mean, not a lot of people do that, but Gene's been doing it, so I appreciate that quite a bit, Gene. Thank you.
Come on, whiz bang.
I love whiz bang.
Well, good. All right. Well, thanks, Gene. high blood sugar gives you diarrhea, is what I'm being told.
There you go.
Yeah, I know nothing about that. I mean, I know nothing about diabetes. I'm well versed in diarrhea. Have I said too much? I mean, listen, we're all human, right? We've all had to deal with.
Sometimes it's worth the diarrhea.
Sometimes.
Put that on the mission statement.
Sometimes it's worth the diarrhea.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it.
I think that one's, not always, but sometimes.
Sometimes
it's worth the
is.
diarrhea.
Okay. Let me break out my mission statement. I don't think we've added anything in a minute.
Poundcake, would you agree? He's on the phone.
Yeah, I think
He's
he
still
might be on the
going,
phone. Okay, here's the mission statement.
It's funny when he's on the phone because he has to use a different microphone.
Yeah.
And so he's like leaning into the camera. So it's always funny.
What is wrong with me, huh?
Oh, I just say it's funny when you're on the phone because you're like leaning into the camera and it's just kind of a funny angle. But we're adding to the mission statement and we're adding sometimes it's worth the diarrhea.
It absolutely is.
Okay.
Now, what would constitute something that was worth that? Something that is this going to be like hot fire or just loose?
Yeah, something like certain dishes, whether it's, maybe some sketchy
Tikka
street
masala?
food or something like that. Or, yeah, it's just going to, it's going to run through you. Mary will take the diarrhea if it means she gets to have sour cream once in a while.
I see.
So sometimes you go, it's worth the diarrhea.
Okay.
Sometimes, a night of drinking where you're hungover and you have diarrhea the next day. You know what? It was a good time. Had a fun night. It's worth diarrhea the next day.
Have you seen the Flamin' Hot trailer?
No.
So they made a movie, Eva Longoria, in her directorial debut. The guy who was a janitor for Frito-Lay, Latino guy, I think, who was
I remember them,
credited with coming up with Flamin' Hot Cheetos and like saved, really a shot in the arm to that company back when they did it because it became such a massive, massive revenue generator. And then somebody announced a couple years ago they're going to make a movie about it, and everybody laughed. It was called Flamin' Hot. How are you going to make a movie about the guy who invented hot Cheetos? But the trailer looks very entertaining. I mean, people who write movies know what they're doing, most of the time, sometimes. But the movie's called Flamin' Hot, and it's about the guy who invented Flamin' Hot Cheetos. I'm not a Flamin' Hot Cheetos guy. My wife loves them. I saw one the other day. They dropped a new kind, by the way. It was in the store and happened to see them. I forget what they're called now, but it's like a purple bag and it's, I don't know, tangy lime hot or something. They just throw all these, our taste buds have been so nuked over the course of our lives that they have to. It's why every snack now is super spicy because that's the only thing that can get through our taste buds now. Everything has to be flavor blasted and
it's because of all the extreme
spicy
flavors.
I know. It's
that
got to be
happened
extreme.
In the 90s.
Blame the 90s. All right, so sometimes it's worth the diarrhea.
Yeah.
Is new on the mission statement. Number 21, but I've killed a couple in the past, so it's more like number 18, maybe.
Sometimes it is worth the diarrhea.
Sometimes it's worth the diarrhea. There you go. I guess Jamie Foxx is not doing well. I was reading something a couple of weeks ago, and they said, yeah, he had like a heart episode. He's in the hospital, but he's going to be okay. But then he wasn't leaving the hospital.
Blame it on the alcohol?
Is that a Jamie Foxx song?
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, he discovered Ed Sheeran. So if you're a fan of Ed Sheeran, I guess send Jamie Foxx, send a couple stars to his Facebook page.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Ed Sheeran crashed on his couch when nobody knew who he was. Jamie Foxx was like, I like what you're doing. Jamie Foxx got a studio in his house, and people forget Jamie Foxx is a legit musician.
He's good. My brother,
he went to college on a piano scholarship.
He played Ray. My brother had his Unpredictable album. That was Blame It. He had another hit too.
Oh, I don't know any of his.
Digger.
I don't know any of his songs. He did Gold Digger with Kanye, but I don't know any of his songs. Fall for Your Type? Because they're all collabs.
No, he has
him and T.I., Can I Take You Home?
Oh, I Got a Warm Bed. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he has.
Blame It. Slow Jams. Best Night of My Life. I mean, I know Gold Digger. That's what I know. Wait, that's not him. Hold on.
She take my money when I'm in need.
Why does he sound like he's got cotton in his mouth?
He's trying to sound like Ray, because Ray was the original person who sang.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, Ray Charles.
She take my money when I'm in need.
You know, I heard the Ray Charles song in a store the other day, and I was like, man, you never hear that song. You never hear the
original.
The Ray Charles, yeah. Because it's not Gold Digger. It's, what's that song called? It's, oh, God. It's the original song.
I don't remember.
I don't either. Oh, I Got a Woman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if we have that.
I'd be surprised.
I would
See,
too, but
I
just
love-
indulge me for a second.
Yeah.
Love the
You
word-
love what?
The word trifling.
Yeah, trifling's great.
Trifling's a great word.
Yeah.
Trifling, it has stand it like.
Wait.
Try it again. What?
Wait.
Were you going to say has standed the test of time?
I couldn't remember. Yeah, I was standing the test of time.
Well, so what would the proper
Stood the test of
conjugation
time.
be? There you go.
Yeah, it's just been here this entire time. Black people use it, white people use it. Trifling is just such a great word.
We don't hear it often, though.
Like sometimes when I want to laugh, I type in words into the computer and have Google say it. So it's like trifling.
Well, town, good to me. Oh, yeah. She give me money when I'm in need. Yeah, she's a kind of friend indeed. I got a woman way over town that's good to me. Oh, yeah. She says loving early in the morning just for me. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, anyway. Good song.
Great song.
That's got to be from, what, 1922 or something?
No, I don't think it goes
1954.
back. Yeah, I was going to say, he doesn't go back that far. He's like
He
50s
doesn't
and
go back to-
60s, not at 20s. It's Billie Holiday back then.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, it doesn't go back that far?
I love, though, how when music from the 20s was getting played, people were like, oh, this is the music of the devil. And it's like, hey, it's like Charleston made in.
Hey,
Carol-
talk before ice cream, and then we had to walk in the park. They're like, she's wearing a skirt.
You can see her ankles.
You
See her ankles.
People would hear this music and get horny.
Yeah. Elvis swiveling his hips sent parents around the country into paroxysms of anger.
Right, and it doesn't even look at all sexual now.
No.
Like no one's moving like that. It's not smooth.
Yeah. Get behind me, Satan, with this Charleston and jitterbug music. Your grandfather took me out and we each had a malted. and back then, you didn't each get a malted, you shared a malted. But he got me my own. That's when I knew. That's when I knew I was ready to be a 13-year-old bride.
I love when they say, yeah, and I got that for 35 cents. Like money was just such a foreign concept back like now. I'm like 35 cents. So if I have $5, that's
Yeah, but back then that was like
35 cents went a long way.
Yeah,
I know,
they're
it's so
like
crazy.
movies were a nickel. I go, yeah, but the movies all sucked. So it's like, if you showed those movies now, they couldn't charge more than a nickel. They weren't showing up Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Right.
It was Harold Lloyd hanging off a clock with the words at the bottom of the screen.
Hey, some of those stunts, though.
I know.
Buster Keaton was a madman.
I know.
Buster Keaton was incredible.
But it's just so hard to relate.
And he's coming back to play Batman.
Hey, that was his dad.
Oh, it was?
Was it?
Oh,
I don't know.
okay. No.
It's just so hard to relate to the older people when they say, like, you generation just don't know how good you have it.
No,
And I'm
but I'll
like,
tell you what.
You bought your house after you graduated high school. Like, you went to college maybe for, $7,000 altogether, and then stuff was like a nickel back then or 35 cents.
Right, but at that time, like, that's what, someday down the road in the future, people are going to go, oh my God, can you believe there was a time where college was only $100,000?
I think it's going the opposite way. They're going to go, can you believe there was a time when college was
So expensive.
expensive? And yeah.
You show up in class.
Right.
Like, it's not all virtual.
And it wasn't just like downloaded into your brain.
It's a chip that's in your brain.
It's going to be an app. You just do college. You have classes. Each individual class will be a different app. And be like, oh, this is my blah, blah, blah class. And I downloaded it. It's $500 for the app for a semester.
I would have been great at school if it was just an app. If all I had to do was just get on an app and just get it all done.
Your books are all in there.
I would have figured it out.
It's just
that would have been way better than the way that
no paperwork.
Yeah, no paperwork, no teacher. Just pull up the app, get it done on your own time. As long as it's done, it's all that matters.
And then
I would have gone through school. I would have graduated probably in by the time I was 11 years old.
They can do college. I mean, this is the way college students or colleges and universities can cash in on the partying. You have virtual happy hours. So the school will host it like, okay, this is a virtual club. You have to pay, $100 to get in, and you have to. It's BYOB, obviously, but you get to meet. That's how you socialize with other students in your area.
Wait, like VR?
Not virtual reality, but just like video.
Nobody wants to do that.
Plenty of people would do that.
They want to get on Zoom?
Yes.
They want to have a Zoom happy hour? They want to go back to the pandemic times?
They go to a Zoom college.
No one's doing that.
Yeah, because you had to do that. People want to do that crap in person now. That's why they're shutting the goddamn metaverse down.
Yeah, because nobody wanted to be there.
Yeah, that's why Zuckerberg finally got wise or was losing so much money.
You had avatars and stuff in the metaverse, right? It wasn't you walking around.
Nobody knows. Nobody cared. He was burning tens of billions of dollars.
I don't think people
trying to convince people it was a thing. That's why it sucks in this country that we throw old people to the side, right? Every other country reveres old people. We go, you don't know anything.
What good are you?
Yeah, if you meet an old person and they're lucid and they can remember things, you can get some amazing stories out of them. Whether it's your own grandparents or, Now, if they're off their nut, I mean, that's like any other person. It doesn't matter how old they are if they're not all there. But, man, you can get some amazing,
Back in my day, we had, there was a guy in the neighborhood called Sneaky Hands Harold.
Yeah.
We always used to be on our
Sneaky Hands
guard.
Harold.
And one day, Sneaky Hands Harold showed up in my driveway, and my dad threatened him with a pistol.
That's right.
They always have something like, oh, my dad didn't like Sneaky Hands Harold. No. He said, stay away from my daughters.
That's right. Harold was always trying to get me to do things I didn't like. My dad, he was always saying the poop hole is the loophole, and I didn't like it.
Everyone always has like a little nickname back then. Like everyone had a nickname.
Sneaky Hands Harold.
Everyone stays.
Sounds like an old Bill Cosby character. Well, anyway, someday we'll be the old people telling stories. Well, not Poundcake. He's going to be dead by 35. According to the Ouija board, which is, as we've established, is never, ever wrong.
Hopefully I'll die at my hottest, so that way you could say, oh man, a hot person died. What a waste.
That's right. It is always more tragic when somebody attractive dies. Die young, leave a good-looking corpse. That was the mantra back in the day. Your punk rock vibes. Live fast, die young, leave a good-looking corpse. I'm going to break here. If you want to get your mitts on those Clutch tickets, they're at the Agora on Mother's Day.